Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. I don't know if that's going to make it in the pre-show or not. Tonight's opening question comes to us from Cyrus Martin. Cyrus posted this one a little while back, and I thought I'd ask it. Especially now, normally I always tell Cyrus his whole rule about, oh, well, does that mean if we don't pick this one, it quote-unquote goes in the fire and it's gone forever? And I always say, no, Cyrus, it doesn't have to be black or white. You can have, you're just picking which one you prefer. Not tonight. Tonight, whichever one you don't pick goes in the fire. And tonight's opening question is the Star Wars trilogy or the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Cyrus Martin.
You son of a bitch.
You're welcome.
You've been holding on to this ever since I brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is the ultimate, for
you at least, yes.
Dude, that's horrible.
Well, do you need a moment to think about it?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is freaking amazing, but Star Wars is Star Wars. So,
well, okay. So you're choosing Star Wars. The other voice you just heard is Chris. Chris, between Star Wars and the Lord of the Rings, which trilogy would you choose to keep?
Just like how Cy didn't really commit to that answer. Like, you just trailed off. That's not
You're absolutely
right. Just based on movie length, I would pick Star Wars because your ass gets numb after a while in those movie theater seats.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Lainey, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
I'm gonna say Star Wars.
Okay.
That's a pretty easy choice for me. I didn't even see Lord of the Rings and all the way through all of them. Well, no, wait. I didn't see them all the way through until about 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I had seen. Shut up, Marion. I had seen parts of it, but I never really sat down and watched all of it. And I love it, but it's not Star Wars.
Gotcha. Our special guest for the evening is Derek Gott. Derek, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
I'd have to say Star Wars. I mean, no offense to Lord of the Rings, but if I watch that movie, I don't know if it puts off some kind of brainwave activity nullifier that I catch on because my brain just shuts off and I fall asleep. I've tried to watch that movie 8 times and I'm asleep halfway through it. Every time.
Which one though?
The first one.
Really, the first one?
Yeah,
so have you watched the trilogy?
I've watched I can't make it through the first one. I've tried to watch the second one. I can't make it through that. I mean, I can only get maybe halfway and my brain shuts off. I don't know if, sometimes people go into a seizure if they see flashing lights or whatever.
Right.
I don't know if the way that movie's filmed or what, that it just shuts off part of my brain and I fall asleep. And it's no offense to it. I mean, growing up, I loved The Hobbit. I read the books. So I cannot, for the love of me, finish those movies. And I want to, but
he's allergic to nerd, okay?
Oh, dude, I'm a super nerd, man.
I was going to say, he wouldn't be on this show if that was the case, I don't think. If not, we would give it
Miscast,
yes.
How dare you?
My answer is very easily from me. The answer is Star Wars, and it's not just the movies themselves. If I'm not doing the whole, the other one's going to get thrown into the fire thing. But if we were going to do that, you have to go with Star Wars because without Star Wars, we wouldn't have the Lord of the Rings. I mean, Star Wars brought in so much innovation with the way that sci-fi and movies at all are being done. The invention of ILM. I mean, just from a technical aspect, you still have to go with Star Wars. But I mean. I love the Lord of the Rings movies, but I can't tell you the last time I sat down and watched them. I mean, I enjoyed the Hobbit movies that came out as well. They're really good movies. My only criticism of those movies is the end of the third one, and it's just the only criticism I have is I wish he would have picked an ending and stuck with it instead of doing all of them.
I have an observation here.
What's that?
I believe that the only reason that you have used this question for this is because you knew that everyone would pick Star Wars, and this was a way to basically prove to me that I should never have said that the choice between Lord of the Rings and Star Wars would have been a hard one. This is some kind of throwing Sai's face about Lord of the
Yes,
Rings.
it's a
not being as good.
conspiracy against you, Sai. We all got together before the podcast.
No,
and
not
figured
all
it
of you.
out.
Eugene knows things.
I don't know, dude. I'll be honest with you. You posed this one time in the Facebook chat, and you said, "You know what would be a really hard question?" And said this. And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good question." You're like, "No," and I've been holding on to it. Like I assigned it to this topic, which we had to push back, and it just sat there, and I was like, okay, when we got around to this topic, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that question. We're gonna go with that one. So it was honestly not anything malicious. It was just you posed the question. I thought it was a good question. I thought we'd answer it. So
I'm posing it at you maliciously.
Speaking of the topic that we had to push back, tonight's topic is everyone knows quotes from like the big movies. Everyone knows, Luke, I am your father, and
That's not in the
Rosebud, and what would you say?
That wasn't in the movie.
Whatever. Shut up. Anyway, but everyone knows these big movies. Everyone knows, a lot of these movies that everyone freaking quotes. But I find a lot of times that I have certain quotes that I always, lean on, I always go back to, and it never fails. Every time I use them, people just either look at me like, what are you talking about? Or I have to explain it, and it's not that it's odd, and it's not that I mind, because obviously if I mind, I'd stop using them. It's just a quote I've picked up, and I've just always used it. So tonight we're going to talk about those more obscure quotes, those movies that are TV shows or whatever that we like to quote from time to time that we generally end up having to either explain the joke or just say, never mind, you wouldn't get it. So would anyone like to start this evening with one of the movies or quotes that they commonly use?
I'm your huckleberry.
All right, go ahead, Cyrus.
I'm starting out.
You know what? I don't know if I can. Believe me, I'm not going to call BS on anyone's choices tonight. Of course, you're quoting the movie Tombstone. That movie is so good. It's been forever since I've watched it. A lot more people actually know that quote, I think, than we might think. But for the most part, yeah, it is still pretty obscure. Because whenever I say that's one of those quotes you can throw out there that you kind of qualify the people in the room. If you throw out, I'll be your huckleberry. The one or two people who get it, you're like, all right, we're cool. So, but yeah, that's a good one. That's a good start one.
We'll piss on you, Wyatt.
There you go. That's another good one.
That's a really good
I actually used that one with Rudy quite a bit. Was there any other good quotes from that movie? Those are the two that I
there's
honestly
plenty
used all the
of
time.
great quotes on that.
Oh, there are, but I mean, those are the main two that I mainly use.
Okay, let's see.
There's plenty of great quotes in that movie.
There is. Give me a second. Well, there's a bunch of great lines in that movie.
True, there are a bunch of
lines, quotes,
there you go.
synonyms.
Well, Lainey, what's the first movie quote / whatever you're jumping off with?
My first one is from a little movie that came out in the 90s called Empire Records.
Okay.
And it is the classic, because it would hurt a lot, Warren. So whenever someone asks me to do something and I really don't want to do it, that's how I reply.
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
It's a great movie.
It's an amazing movie. You have to watch it.
It's such a good movie. But yeah, I do that to people all the time. They're like, well, why don't you go and do it? Because it would hurt a lot, Warren.
Okay, I have to ask, never seeing the movie.
What's the context?
Yes, what is the context of this?
So, long story short,
Too late.
they're working this in a record store, right?
Mhm.
Empire Records. So there's this kid, he's back in the back for some specific reason. And they're asking him all these questions or whatever, and what does he say? He says something like, well, why don't you shove it up your ass? And one of the other employees looks at him and goes, because it would hurt a lot, Warren. Just totally flat. It's perfect, and I love it. That's a lot of mine come from this movie because I'm obsessed with it, and I've seen it a jillion times.
Okay. What other ones do you have from the movie?
Oh, God. Welcome to Music Town. May I service you?
Okay.
Yeah, see, Chris knows what I'm talking about because she comes out in that Music Town apron, and it's
With
amazing.
nothing on but her underwear underneath.
Nothing but panties. It's
And who's in this movie?
Renee Zellweger and Liv Tyler. Oh my God, it's like
Oh
a
yes,
cartoon.
Hold on, let me pull up Netflix and see if this is on the queue.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I have a couple from Empire Records too, Lainey. So.
Yes.
Well, go ahead and jump in then.
Oh, okay. So I have it's if I drop something or if I forget something somewhere, Ray will pick it up and go, "Hey, you forgot your thingy," which is
I love that. That's such a good movie.
it's one of the guys named Eddie. One of the girls takes off their bra and he just doesn't know what to do because everybody's just left all of a sudden. He's just like, "Hey, you forgot your thingy," and he's holding up the bra and like pinky finger and just doesn't want to touch it. And then the other one is "Damn the Man, Save the Empire."
Save the Empire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn the Man, Save the Empire. That's my other favorite one.
That's a good one. That is
Yeah.
a really, really good. That was on my Twitter bio for a really long time.
Damn it, it's not on Netflix. Okay.
I feel like
No, it's not on Netflix, and it should be.
I feel like y'all are like doppelgangers or something. Like you, the Canadian version.
A little bit. Chris might be my new hero.
Oh no,
'Cause she was
you're fun.
tough enough to go do baller stuff that I wasn't ever tough enough to go do.
I did Canadian Derby, so that I should preface
It's
that.
like the nicest derby in the land.
I actually
Like they'll put a hit on you, but they'll say they're sorry.
no, but instead of checking somebody, I actually hugged them. Like I couldn't check her. I turned around, I was like, "Hey," and hugged her instead, which you're not supposed to do when I got called on.
A lot of.
Oh
Excuse
my
me, pardon
God.
me. Sorry.
Sorry.
That is the most Canadian thing you've ever said.
I know. Okay, somebody else go.
All right, Derek, you want to jump in here with one?
Yeah, mine's pretty obscure. A lot of people haven't ever seen this one, and it's anytime I drop something or somebody else drops something around me, it's the brownies are fucked, which is from The Burbs. Bruce Stern. Bruce Stern is walking.
Oh
up
my God, that's such a good movie.
with the brownies, and his foot goes through the porch, and they fall on the ground, and it's like, the brownies are fucked.
Nice pull, sir.
Oh, that's
Good.
good.
Wow.
It amazes me how many people have not seen that movie. I was like, go watch it right now. It's a great movie.
It's a very good movie. Yes.
One of my other ones from that is Where the Fuck You Think You're Going, Pinocchio? When the little redheaded guy runs off. Yeah, I pull a lot of quotes from that movie. It's great.
Awesome.
I love that.
Well, the brownies are fun. I like that. That's good. Yeah, I need to go back and watch that. I probably should go ahead and start another list on my phone here of movies that I'm gonna end up hearing about tonight that I either haven't seen or haven't seen in a long time that I need to go back and watch. The first one I'm gonna pull from. Oh shit! Then I'll definitely have to go back and watch it. My first pull for tonight is actually from a TV show. The only other person who would catch some of these would be my brother. But like, it doesn't even have to. If anyone says the name Seattle of the city Seattle, I instantly have to go Seattle. Or the other one that I pull from the show is "So no deep kissing even if you beg," and I of course am referring to Night Court. The first one is when Dan is stranded in I think he's in Alaska, and one of the people come up and say, he's like, "I just had a phone." The guy comes up and says, my cousin's got a phone." He's like, "Where's your cousin?" "Seattle." And he turns off, walks off, and of course Dan goes, "Seattle." And my brother and I will do that occasionally. And then the other one was like there was a bunch of people who were really sick, and Roz walks up and he's like, "Yeah, the guy's got like influenza. You don't want to touch him or anything." And he looks at him and just deadpan says, "So no deep kissing even if you beg." And I have said that to people and they've been like, "What?"
Dude, that was a great show.
Oh, I loved that show.
I didn't know that was a real show.
Really?
No, because they did they have the whole thing about it on 30 Rock.
Yeah.
And I thought that they were just making that up.
Oh no,
I
it was
looked it up.
The latter seasons definitely suffered. Like it should have been put to pasture probably a season or two earlier than it was. But what's his name? One of my favorite recurring characters was his father, who was played by the original Adams.
Yeah.
And he would come on all the time and goes, "But I'm feeling much better now."
Well,
that was another quote.
That was what he said all the time.
Yes, I loved that. Oh, I love that show. That was a good show. And like I said, my brother and I are about the only ones I know who ever go Seattle. So whenever we do it, we immediately like look at each other and just like giggle, and that's just it. So, all right, Sarah, so what's your next one?
Well, my next one is probably pretty popular. I would say it's pretty popular, but I have to put it in here because I quote it like constantly, especially with my brother, back and forth. Any line from this movie, we just immediately start going back and forth with this freaking movie because we're just kind of obsessed with The Big Lebowski. I don't know what it is about it, but it could be like, obviously you're not a golfer. That's something that we say a lot. You know, shut the fuck up, Donnie. We say that to each other all the time. You know, like new shit has come to light. Nice marmot. That's another thing we say all the time. Are you ready to get fucked, man? Say it all the time.
Okay, so it's been no secret that I have only ever watched this movie once. I watched it later in life, and I didn't really care for it. I'm thinking for me it may something. I'm almost wondering if something else was going on at the time. Like I don't know if I was busy or if I had stuff on my mind or whatever. I'm willing to commit to you, Cyrus, that I will go back and watch The Big Lebowski again.
I don't understand.
And see if it sticks better with me. Well, that's what I'm saying. The fact that you're like, I don't understand why you don't like this movie. So I'm thinking maybe maybe there was something going on at that time, and it just didn't stick with me at that time, and I need to go back and watch it again. So
Jackie Treehorn treats objects like women, man.
I fucking love that movie.
And see, Lainey likes it,
Yep.
and yeah, so
See,
there's
and
too many of my friends that like this movie that I'm thinking maybe I really
seen
didn't
it like
watch it.
1.5 times, but it really stuck with me.
So yeah, so I'm going to commit to going back and watching it again.
Keep your ugly fucking gold bricking ass out of my beach community.
It's perfect. It's just the best quotable movie.
All right, Lainey, what's your second one?
My second one is I have a few from the TV show New Girl.
Okay.
So I don't know if anybody on here actually watches New Girl.
Yes,
but
Christy and I watched New Girl for a while. Yeah.
Yes,
I
see,
was
it's
New
really
Girl.
good. But yes.
Okay.
So one of my favorites is You Can't Escape Destiny. She comes for us all. That relentless bitch. So I say that a lot. Whenever I'm trying to make a point to somebody, I usually finish off my argument with that.
Good way to finish an argument.
Yeah, and then my other favorite is Feast Your Eyes on My Butt. She's having an argument with Nick in one episode, and for some reason they start like telling each other to like look at each other's ass, and so she starts like running in place and starts yelling at him to feast her eyes on her butt, and I love that. I use that one a lot too, like more than I really should be able to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of situations where that would be appropriate.
It's not. I just use it anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, those are my two big ones. That, and sometimes I do the Nick Miller rap that Schmidt does for him. The Nick Miller from the streets of Chicago, where players play like they do, like they did.
Well, the other person that would probably get that would be Chris. So, Chris, you're up next.
I watch New Girl with my kids, so we just watched the newest episode today.
Yes! It was a good one.
So I have one, and when Ray comes off of nights, he's not here. He's a shell of himself, and it's hilarious because he doesn't know his name. He doesn't know where he is. He sort of wanders around in a drunken stupor. So a lot of the times, if he's trying to figure something out, you just see it. He's just trying to get it. And then he finally does, and I'm like, oh, there you are, Peter.
Oh!
And that's from the movie Hook.
Look! Oh my God!
When the little dude he's the littlest one, and he's pressing on Robin Williams' face, and all of a sudden he sees
that little chubby. Oh, he's so cute.
So that's what I say to Ray a lot. He just looks at me and goes, "Shut up."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So I don't say
really
it nicely, like I'm being a jerk to him because he
That's fair.
comes off nights.
It's okay. There's a good line from that movie where he looks at her and she says, "Hello, Wendy lady," and every time I hear it, I just like weep openly.
Oh Lord.
God.
Oh, we used to call the kids when we want a hug from them, we would say, "Give us a squidge."
Oh God. Can I just come and live with y'all's family? Like, it sounds really fun.
They're pretty adorable on
Yeah.
Instagram, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're adorable. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, Derek, what's your next one?
Derek is muted.
Sorry, my mic was muted.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
my next one would have to be. I'm a huge Trailer Park Boys fan. For me, it's just mindless fun. So it'd have to be "I am the liquor Rand." It's a Mr. Leahy quote. He is the park supervisor of the Trailer Park Boys, and he gets really drunk. So he's always like, they'll ask him, "Why are you drinking? You know, it's liquor." And he goes, "I am the liquor Rand," which is he's talking to Randy, his right hand man / lover. But it's a great show, man, and I always pull quotes from it, and people have no clue where it comes from.
I've seen it advertised, but I've never seen a single episode of it.
It's mindless fun, man. It's
really dumb, but it's hilarious.
yeah, it's
Okay.
it's pretty dumb. It's a Canadian comedy, but it's kind of like in the Second City kind of vein.
Okay.
And these dudes, when they commit to character, like they even do a podcast now, and they stay in character for the podcast too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You should check it out. I think there's 9 seasons on Netflix, and Netflix is buying 2 more from them. So they're back on
Oh,
the
wow,
internet.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. My next one is, and actually I just added this one yesterday. So my wife and Lainey's grandparents are down visiting, and they like watching, well, we refer to it as old people TV, but it's like
Nothing that came out in the last 20 years.
yes, it's like on Me TV. You know, they rerun these really old sitcoms and action shows. And I mean, yeah, some of them are fine. Like tonight, they were playing the A Team. The A Team's freaking awesome. I'll still watch the A Team today. But anyway, yesterday I come home and it's their sitcom block, and they have a sitcom on that reminded me of a saying that I only use, and I can only use it with one person in the entire world, but it never fails. I will still use it to this day, and it is, "Nice going, Mama." And it's, of course, from the show Mama's Family. If you remember that show, Carol Burnett, it's actually a pretty bad show, but that was kind of like the main quote from her son. Anytime something would go bad, he'd look at her and go, "Nice going, Mama." And I don't know when I picked it up, but whenever I did, I started doing it to my mom, and she hates it when I do it. So
wasn't it Vicki Lawrence?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, it was Vicki Lawrence. Yeah.
Vicki Lawrence.
Yeah,
and
Carol Burnett was on
Burnett.
occasionally, yeah. 'Cause, I mean, yeah, she started that character on the Carol Burnett show, so. But yeah, you're right. It was Vicki
Oh my
Lawrence.
God! I can't believe you pulled out a Mama's Family quote.
Honestly, I completely forgot about it until I walked in yesterday and it was on the TV, and I went, "Yep, there's another quote that I can pull for the show." So.
Well done.
All right, Cyrus, what's your next one?
Well, this is one that I always say quotes from, but it's not like funny or anything. It's just really, I like the movie a lot, and I like the lines that they have in it, so sometimes I'll just say them. This is Ronin from 1998.
Okay.
So I'm always saying stuff like from that movie, like he has this one line where, if you don't know anything about the movie, this is like a bunch of ex-spies that have gotten together to do a heist for money because they're all on the run, or they're all screwed up in some way, like and lost they're not with the agencies they used to be with for whatever countries they used to work for. So they're all just kind of like a ragtag bunch of guys that all got together for money, and so they're trying to do this heist job, and they're all trying to feel each other out and see who everybody is and what their talents and weaknesses are, and it's a really cool movie. Anyway, so Robert De Niro's in this movie, and he's the main guy, and he has all these funny things that he'll say where the guys they're always trying to figure out if he's legit or not, or if he used to be with they don't know exactly what agency he used to be with or who he was with, but they think he was CIA or whatever, but he'll never actually cop to it, you know?
Right.
So he has all these funny things, like they'll be like they'll ask him stuff, you know, and there's these funny things, like he's saying, like he'll have like a moment where he says whenever there's any doubt, there is no doubt. That's the first thing they teach you. And then the guy say, "Well, who taught you?" He says, "I don't remember. That's the second thing they teach you." And then they were like, you ever kill anybody? And he says, I hurt somebody's feelings once.
He's Canadian.
Sorry. There's a scene where they're talking. He's like, you ever been tortured? And he goes, oh yeah, they don't make it easy on you. And then like, how did they finally get to you? And he's like, they gave me a grasshopper. And I'm like, what's a grasshopper? He goes, well, let's see, it's 2 parts gin, 1 part brandy, 1 part creme de menthe. And they're like, whatever, it's just a fun movie. I'll like, whenever I'm talking to Mannon, sometimes when I'm really tired, there's a scene where he gets shot and they have to pull a bullet out and he's conscious the whole time. And it's like a really gruesome scene. At the end of it, he says, if you don't mind, I'm going to pass out. And then he passes out. So I'll say that sometimes.
I've actually heard you say that before. Like, you're like, listen, it's really late. If you don't mind, I'm going to pass out. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, good night, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you used that one with me before.
I love that freaking movie. I've seen that movie probably 20 times. It's a great movie.
Awesome. All right, Lainey, what's your next poll?
My next one is gonna be from the movie Pretty in Pink.
Oh my God, Lainey.
As soon as she said Pretty in Pink, I was like, oh my God, Chris is going to, like, we need to get you two together.
Chris
And
can
you're
just
like,
adopt me. It's
there you
fine.
go. All right.
I'm actually concerned that might not be a good idea. Like,
Let's rule
they're
the
the same
world.
person on 2 different tracks and, like,
I'm gonna rip a
alternate
hole
realities. Is that what you're
in the
thinking? Or
Space time continuum. Space time
the
continuum.
Spice Time Continuum?
You're
the
welcome.
Spice Time Continuum.
Yes, girl power. God.
That's the name of this. That's the name of this episode. The Spice Time Continuum.
Space time continuum.
That'd be like the name of a Dune podcast.
I know, right?
God.
The spice controls the universe. Fade, beautiful
Really
fade.
great.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I have a couple of quotes that I pulled from Pretty in Pink. That, for some reason, is my favorite Molly Ringwald movie. I love Molly Ringwald. My dog is named after Molly Ringwald.
I was wondering where you got the name from.
Yeah, because my dog is a redhead, and I was thinking about my favorite redheads, and I said, oh, bam, her name's Molly.
Okay.
So my one of my favorite lines from that is she's talking to Andrew McCarthy in the record store, and he's like just picking up a random album to ask her about, and she looks at him, she goes, yeah, it's hot, white hot. And I like to say that to people when they're asking me dumb questions. No one gets it, but it's really fun. Yeah, see? Oh, God. And then another really, really good one, and I use this one a lot, is whenever I'm leaving a room, I say, well, I'm off like a dirty shirt. And then I walk out. That's a really good one from Ducky in that movie,
Yeah.
who's a priceless gem in American cinema, just FYI.
Oh, Lord.
He's the Duck Man!
Yeah.
But yes, that's a great movie.
That was John Cryer, right?
Yeah.
Yes! John Cryer, and I think my favorite role of his ever, because I can't do anything where he's not the Duck Man and wearing those shoes.
Wearing shoes
I can't.
in the
I
little.
can't.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Chris knows.
Yeah. Speaking of Chris, what's your next poll?
So sometimes when I'm annoying Ray and I'm trying to do something, he'll be able to do it better than me, and he knows it, but I'm being stubborn and I'm trying to do it, and he'll just butt in. He'll go, "You're killing me, Smalls."
I knew someone was going to pull that one.
So that's one of our favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
And
turn
if he
around and
wants
call
to-
him a can't hack it panty waist?
Yeah, and if he wants to, we're bugging each other. I'll be like, "You play ball like a girl." It's the other one that we use.
I like it.
Good. That's a good pull. I really love that movie. I can't wait till my boys are a little bit older to show it to them because, there's a really good age to watch that movie that's just going to be like, it's just going to hit.
It's like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Watch it every 4th of July.
There you go. All right, Derek, what's your next poll?
My next poll would have to be one of my favorite quotes ever of any movie, which is "Stay gold, pony boy."
Oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a
That's perfect.
Yeah, Johnny tells it to Pony. It's from The Outsiders, and when Pony Boy Curtis is leaving, Johnny leans over and goes, "Hey, stay golden, Pony Boy."
Stay cool.
Oh my god.
So
Oh,
yeah,
so good.
I'll fire off that quote, and people look at me like, "What?" And I'm just like, "Just keep going."
You know, Derek, I think once upon a time, many years ago, like I hadn't even seen Outsiders, and you said that to me, I think, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And then
Yeah.
like you explained it to me, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So you saying it right now brought all that back, and I'm like, "That's funny. That's really funny.
Ever since I first saw that movie, I've always used that quote.
That's really funny."
It's a great movie. It's a good book too.
Because that is something you say to somebody, and they're just going to be like, "What is this? What's happening here? What's going on?" Like,
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good way to weed out people.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Also, another one from that movie is like if somebody says, "Yeah, we got to do that," and then I'll fire off of, "We got to do it for Johnny," and I'm hoping for the response of, "We got to get them socias," but you know,
Yeah.
it just depends. You know, sometimes I get that response back, and we'll both laugh, and other times it's just like, "Who's Johnny?" And I'm like, "Oh, never mind."
Oh no.
Yeah, I understand. I got you on that.
Oh shit.
My next poll, I don't know if I don't know if it qualifies. And the reason why I'm going to say I don't know if it qualifies is because the Alamo Drafthouse actually does a quote along with it. It is one of the movies that they will play, I don't know, once a month, maybe a couple times every other month or so. And they do a quote along. It's because this movie is almost completely quotable all the way through. And I actually already used it once earlier tonight. I don't know if you caught it or not, but Lainey was going to make a long story short, and without hesitation, my brain automatically kicks off like Michael Scott saying, that's what she said, I have to reply when someone says, to make a long story short, it just automatically comes out. Too late. And it never fails. I love the movie Clue. I will use, to make a long story short, too late. Just like that just happens. I have used, yeah, but communism's just a red herring, and people were like in a conversation, people were like, what? What? And then of course, if someone starts counting, if someone's trying to do some serious counting, you start doing the 1 + 2 + 2 + 1 is. And then you're waiting. If the person is legit, then they'll go crash or something like that to, indicate that that's when the chandelier falls. But yes, I love the movie Clue. My wife cannot stand it for some reason.
It's a great movie.
That movie is it's wonderful all the way through. And every time I meet someone who's never seen it, I start explaining it, and they're like, "This is a real movie?" I'm like, "No, you don't understand. This is a great movie." And I start, listing off characters and the people who are in the movie, and they're like, "Wow, this movie exists? This sounds awesome." I'm like, "Yes, it is. You need to go watch it right now. It's great." So yeah, I love the movie Clue. I quote it constantly.
That movie's like on par with like Rocky Horror Picture Show for me, and I don't know why, but I hold them both in like the same level of esteem. Like they're weird, but they're classics.
I love that. Oh, I
God,
just love
it's so
that
good.
movie. I love that movie. Every time I watch it, it's just awesome.
Have you ever
All right,
seen?
Cyrus, what's your next one?
Have you ever seen a movie called Brain Donors?
Mm-mm.
No.
No. No. This
No,
is
I
an.
don't
It's an
believe
old
that
comedy.
exists.
It's an old comedy. It had like John Turturro in it. It was sort of in the theme of like the Three Stooges, but it was from the early '90s. Well, they're kind of these three guys, and they're just like I don't know, whatever. Just like it's a goofy comedy. They're scam artists, constantly going around trying to make a quick buck off something. Like this guy, I have these lines like they're like going down the street and they see these two dudes have like a fender bender. So he grabs one of those little red ketchup things off of a restaurant counter, runs over and sprays it in the guy's face, and the guy's like, "What the hell are you doing?" He's like, "I'm a doctor. I know what I'm doing." And that's something I yell to Mannon sometimes.
After you spray ketchup in his face, or just
No,
just saying?
And then like there's a scene where he's like he's in the middle of some scam that he's doing, and he's in this rich people's house, and there's like a whole bunch of rich people all around, and and he's like talking to this one old guy, and the old guy's wife is there, and so he's like they're having an argument, and he says, "Well, that's it. Let's go outside and settle this like men." And he says, "We are outside." And he goes, "Well, then let's go inside and settle it like women." And he says, "I'm twice the man you are." And he says, "So is she, and it's driving me mad."
I've heard that quote before. I didn't know what it was from. I've heard that quote before, but
I say it all the time. I'm telling you, me and Mannon say it back and forth. And then like there's a scene where they're getting arrested and getting hauled off, and they're screaming all these different excuses for why they did what they did, and it was like we were following orders. It's the Japanese. They're buying up everything. They're like just like spouting off every excuse they can think of, you know. So if you ever hear me say, you know, we were following orders, it's the Japanese, you know, that's what that's about.
I've heard you say that before. I thought it was funny anyway, but now I think it's even better. That's great.
Yeah, check that movie out sometime. It is funny.
All right, Lainey, what's your next one?
Sorry, I had to burp.
Yeah, I got that.
My bad. So my next one is from another little movie called Mystery Men.
Okay. I've only ever seen it once.
It's a really dumb, like, late 90s comedy. Like, it's got a bunch of heavy hitters from the late 90s is all I'm saying. But it's really stupid and really, really good. And I went through a weird phase during my childhood where I watched it, like, every day. So I like to quote it to people a lot, actually. One of my favorites is whenever I'm, like, looking for something in a group of people, I'll kind of look up at them and go, has anybody seen the Panking Shears? Just like that, in that voice. So nobody gets it, but it works.
Well, there you go.
And then another one that I do whenever I do really well at something, I'll say, "We are number 1. All others are number 2 or lower." So that's another big one.
Yeah, I guess I need to go back and watch it. I don't remember much
It is
from
so stupid, and I love it.
Paul Rubens.
Oh my god, it's so dumb.
So
Yeah,
yes.
Paul Rubens is the one that asked about the Panking Shears,
Yes.
and it's awesome. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's perfect.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch
Oh my
it.
god, it's the perfect story.
Yes.
Yes! I get really angry.
What was the guy? Was he the digger?
Yes, the shoveler.
The shoveler. I'm sorry. What do you do?
Bowler.
I can dig really well.
I can
Okay.
dig. No, but I can dig very well. I like the bowler. And she's like, "Is that so? That's your father's skull that you've inserted into that bowling ball?" And she goes, "No, guy at the pro shop did it." I love it. Oh, Janine Garofalo. She's amazing. I kept yelling out. I saw her do stand-up comedy at Bonnaroo the year that I went, and I kept yelling out Bowler, and I'm sure she hated me.
I'm sure, probably.
So sorry, Janine. I was not heckling you. I was
Well, I'm
just
sure
really
she listens to
excited.
the show. So.
You don't know.
All right, Chris. What's your next one?
Okay, so whenever Ray and I get bored with something or just there's a silence or whatever, one of us will go, "Hi, I'm in Delaware," which is
Oh my god.
and then yeah, just I don't know where. We'll say that. Or anytime Bohemian Rhapsody comes on, we must headbang at that part. It happens.
Obviously.
The drum solo, the whole 9 yards. So we do that.
Wait, guys, it fell on my keys.
Yeah, that one.
I'm giving you a no honk guarantee.
Gonna
Oh,
hurt.
God.
You want me to say what, don't you? You want me to...
A lot of sphincter says what?
Sphincter says what? I'll have the cream of some young guy.
Yeah. Very well, if that is your custom.
Oh my god.
That's the second one.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm constantly petitioning for whatever town I'm living in at the time to open like a 24-hour donut place like Stan Mikita's.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I actually want to try sticking a straw in a jelly donut and see if that actually works.
Do it. Do it.
Give it a shot.
Yes.
Tell us how that works out.
And then wait
She
for that
make-
hot
wait.
waitress to come.
I remember.
Foxy lady.
She makes me feel kind of funny. Like when I used to climb the rope in gym class.
Wing. I love that.
Derek, what's your next one, man?
It's a really. I use it mostly to annoy my wife. It's a quote from the World According to Garp. Have you ever seen that movie? It's a Robin Williams movie.
Mhm.
There's a part where a plane flies into the house. Him and his wife are looking at buying a house, and right when the lady's showing him the house, a plane flies into the side of the house, and he looks back at it. And he looks back at her, and he goes, "We'll take it." And his wife is like, "Why?" And he goes, "Honey, the chances of another plane hitting are astronomically high." So it'll be quiet, and I'll just be like, "Honey," yeah, I go, "Honey," she'll go, "Yeah," and then I'll say that, and then she just like, "Stop saying that." I just do it for fun. But yeah, that's an obscure quote I use a lot.
Oh my god.
Man, that's hilarious. I've never seen that movie. I'm gonna have to watch that.
I haven't either.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I miss Robin
It's
Williams.
The World According to Garp. It's like
The
it's one of his. I think it is his first movie.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check
Yeah.
that one out.
Yeah, that part when that plane hits the house is great because the realtor is showing it to him, and then the plane hits, and he turns right after it hits. He looks and sees it, and he looks back at her and goes, "We'll take it." And then that's when his wife is freaking out. So yeah, it's great. It's like a quotes in that movie too.
Oh my god.
My next one is it's just one line from the movie. I love this movie. I watch it every single year. If anything, if anyone kind of starts to get like kind of a creepy feeling or just kind of a little unnerved, I always kind of bug my eyes out and turn to them and go, "They're coming to get you, Barbara." Which of course is from Night of the Living Dead, not the remakes, the original one. The only Night of the Living Dead is the fucking black and white original 1968 version. Love that movie. Love that movie. Yeah, it never fails, and every time I do it, I'm trying to remember who it was. I used to do it occasionally, and every time I did, I want to say, oh geez, I don't know if I think it was Lewis's first girlfriend. It used to freak her out. She's like, shut up, that's scary. Don't say that. That's not cool."
Yeah, I've got a one-line movie thing that I do too.
All right.
It's from the Boondock Saints. Like
Yes.
every time Mannon's leaving or I'm leaving, one of us will always say, "Catch you on the flip side."
Oh god. All the quotes.
I thought you were going to go for the bartender. Make like a tree and get the fuck out of here.
I love that dude.
I'll have a Coke then. Oh,
Yeah.
it's a good movie.
It's a great movie. The second one was okay, but the first one was classic.
I pretend that the second one didn't happen.
Well, there you go.
Alrighty then.
Well,
It was a
I'm in
fire.
Delaware. It was a fire.
God, what a crazy.
Now I'm just
motherfucker.
reliving that movie and Willem Dafoe's scary face. That man's got a creepy mug, man. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
he does. But he was perfect. He was perfect in Spider-Man.
He was.
All right, what's your next one, lady?
Okay, so I'm gonna pull a couple actually from The Office.
Okay.
I rewatch The Office every year, like the full series every
Wow.
year. Mm-hmm. It's
Okay.
a thing that I do. I
Really?
don't know why.
British or
Yeah.
American?
American.
Okay.
I have watched the British Office and I really like it, but yeah, I grew up with the American, so I watched the American one. Bless
Wait,
you, whoever
we're
says.
all supposed to go. Oh.
So
And-
obviously it's not going to be that's what she said because that everyone knows that.
No, it's
Okay.
not. That's what she said. Even though the lines that he has, that's what she said, are just gold.
Okay.
But and it's for some reason I've been saying it a lot lately, especially. But sometimes somebody asks me like what I'm doing, I'll kind of look back and go, "Oh, nothing," just to see how they'll react.
Yeah, I don't even catch that one.
Exactly,
I watched
because
it.
it's an obscure Andy quote. Because I watch it every year. And another one is I'm not superstitious, but you know I'm a little stitious.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we quote actually one of my best friends and I quote back that show back and forth to each other a lot. Whenever I'm like trying to explain something to him and he wants to be annoying, he'll keep going, okay, yay, Pam! Like really, yeah, he's mean. Yeah. I'm a cool kid.
You keep telling yourself that. All right, Chris, what's your next one?
I'm starting to run out of them. Okay, so
Oh, that's fine.
if I want to annoy my children, especially my daughter, because she's at a perfect age where I can do this now. She'll say something, and I'll say no, and then she'll just give me this look, and I'll look at her and be like, "Oh, who's got a frowny face?" Boo, which is from Despicable Me, and she hates it. Hates it when I do that, so I do it a lot.
Is anyone else noticing a pattern in her quotes? Two of them were when I want to annoy Ray,
When I want to
and
piss
now
off
it's
my-
when I want to annoy my kids. I'm just saying.
I'm good at it. You gotta go with what you're good at. I'm really good at annoying.
Hell yeah!
There you
Good
go.
job.
I like annoying my children.
But you also have to consider, Eugene, that annoying means something different in Canada. Like in the United States, when you annoy someone, it's something you do. Like I'm trying to annoy them. It's like maybe more malicious. But in Canada, it's just like, what
Giving
is
him a
annoying?
hug and telling him
Right.
something
It can be
nice.
it would be like giving them 5 cookies instead of 6.
That would be annoying though if you asked for 6 and they only gave you 5.
Yeah,
I
that's
annoyed him.
annoying.
I'm gonna write a stern letter. All right, Derek, what's your next one?
The last one I have is Damn It, Jerry from Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Because Jerry Gergich on there, he's like anything ever happens wrong, it's always Jerry's fault. Somebody farts in the background. Yeah, and it's like, damn it, Jerry. He's like the lovable loser on this show. And every time he's on there, it makes me laugh.
That series, as much as it pained me when it ended, that series I think actually stayed. I won't say 100% but it was definitely firing on all cylinders all the way until the end. Like I would have liked to have seen it gone longer, but honestly, that you could sit down and watch that entire series and be like, this was really well done. Like, you can kind of say that about Seinfeld. Some people debate about the last season of Seinfeld, but I understand where, and the older I get, the more I understand where, as much as you'd like to see some of these things keep going, at some point you got to go, it's just going to kind of degrade over time. Let's go out strong, and that's what they did with Parks and Rec. I love that show. That show is so good.
I think if it had gone on any longer, it would have gone into like Robert California on The Office level, and it would have just been too much.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows. See.
Yep. Night Court was that way. Like I was like calling back to my first pool. Night Court was, like I said, the last couple of seasons were just like, So, my next one is the average person would definitely not catch it. Probably, I know at least I will catch it. But one of the ones that I constantly use is "You're an idiot, Starscream." And then, of course, you have to say, if you're getting into, two people are about to face off with something, you have to go with the "one shall stand, one shall fall." And then I've always said this: anytime, you're about to die, and whatever it is, you're pretending, these are your last words. It's all you always have to go with, until the day when all. And of course, it's from the original Transformers movie.
Oh my god!
But yes, anytime someone says or does something, I'm like, "You're an idiot, Starscream," and they're just like, "What?"
Sometimes Manon will call me, and I'll be like, "Nobody summons me."
Yes. Oh, I love that movie. Oh, I love that movie. But yeah, so like I said, and I thought about it, I wasn't sure I was going to put it on this list, but I thought, no, most people aren't going to catch most of especially that "You're an idiot, Starscream." Most people aren't going to catch that reference, so I went ahead and left it on there. So
here's a hint. That's the other one I liked from.
Oh yes, that one's a good one. All right, I know we're kind of getting really far along in our list here, so
I really don't have any more that I can go through. So I think I've
okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. Lainey, do you have another one?
I do have a couple more.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is I found myself quoting this a lot, especially when I was working at Disney, because I was constantly surrounded by a bunch of other nerdy Disney people.
Right.
So whenever I would get like a quote wrong, or I would like call a character the wrong name, or like get like a fact wrong, I would like shake my fist in the air and just go, years of academy training wasted, because I've seen Toy Story too many times.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So that's a pretty big one, which then of course makes all the other nerdy Disney people just laugh and laugh and laugh.
You worked at Disney or Disneyland? At Disney
I
World
worked
or
at
Disneyland?
Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
Do they have Disney gangs there like they have in California?
No, that's like a pretty strictly Disneyland thing. I wish that was more of a thing at Disney World, but because Walt Disney World is more of like a vacation like destination, they don't get as many locals. It's a much bigger thing in Anaheim.
Yeah, it's the weirdest. I can't fathom it. It's weird, and I don't
It is
understand
adorable though.
Okay, the rest of us have no clue what the fuck y'all
Oh,
are talking
okay.
about.
At Disneyland, by the way, is like its own breed of theme park. I'm hoping to go this summer, and I'm really excited. But they have a whole like thing there where they have these different like factions of people, and they're in like gangs. It's not like they're not like coming into the parks with like switchblades or anything, but they
Well, I'd
look
hope
like
not.
these old like 1950s style like greaser gangs.
And they wear little vests
is-
and everything too.
Yeah, like they have like all kinds of like cool names like the Neverlanders, like all kinds of like crazy like it's really cool. Like you should look it up. But basically it's an excuse to like come into the park with a bunch of your friends and dress really cute and wear cool pins, and it's fun. It's
Okay.
really neat. But yeah, they don't really do that as much in Walt Disney World. It's not like Dapper Day isn't as big of a thing in Walt Disney World either. So
As long as no one's getting shanked.
This is like a world that I don't know about, and
Yes, we got that from the last
it is
episode.
definitely a whole new world, that is for sure.
To me, it's kind of weird because it's like they're sidestepping reality too much. I mean,
Yes.
like there's people that spend every day in Disneyland, and I'm like, okay, I understand if you work there or you go there, you know, you have season passes and you go there once a month to eat with your wife or whatever, or, you know, your husband, blah blah blah. But like every day in there, aren't you sidestepping reality and you know?
Yes, that's what I did while I worked there, because all of my days off I spent in the parks. I was like, I don't have to think about the fact that I'm not making any money. I'm just going to go and play at Epcot for 12 hours. So,
Well, I
yeah,
drink
pretty
this
much.
$7 Coke and eat this $40 peanut
I
butter and
wasn't
jelly
buying
sandwich.
anything in that park. I didn't make any money. Oh,
Yes,
man.
becoming a teacher was a huge step up.
Literally,
monetarily for
like
her,
they
if
sent
that
me
gives
my
you any
first
idea.
paycheck, and I just went, "Holy shit! This is
is
like
actual
real
money."
money."
Do you have any more, Lainey?
Yeah. I have another one actually from that same movie and from that same scene. I like to say that I'm sucking down Darjeeling with Marie Antoinette's sister, and no
Oh,
one
yes.
gets that either. So I'm telling you, I'm the coolest kid in the kingdom.
Good deal.
So.
wow,
But yeah.
wow, that's actually a really good tagline for you. I'm the coolest kid in the kingdom.
Yes, I again said that a lot while I worked at Disney too.
Should have a T-shirt that says that.
I really should.
Oh, you should. That would be awesome.
I was
And I
thinking
worked
more-
at Animal Kingdom. It should have Tree of Life on it.
I was thinking her profile for the website, kind of. You know.
No,
That
no, no.
would be
Tell
funny.
what was the things? That
Oh, my thing from earlier, I was talking to Eugene. I told him that what was it? My brand is the weird girl, and that my aesthetic is failed ballet dancer with a drinking problem.
I said I'm going to rewrite your bio.
I don't know how to take you. You know, it's like.
That is the sweetest thing you've ever said to me, Sai.
That's awesome.
I feel like I've walked into a movie and it's not the movie I thought I was going to see.
Yeah. That's pretty much. That's like the going
That's great.
impression of me from most people.
You're like a movie I walked into and I'm not sure what I'm watching.
I don't think that that's what I paid for.
There you go.
Uh,
Well, all right. Chris, do you have any more?
I have a couple.
Okay.
When Logan corrects me on something, I will tell. I say potato, tomato, potato, tomato. Mega mine.
Mhm.
Quinn says bazinga a lot,
yes.
but not. He's not really funny. He just says it. He thinks he's hilarious.
Wow.
Well,
I know, right?
said
He's
how
not
funny
actually funny.
7.
Uh,
And then if I don't understand something that Ray is saying, I'll look and be like, but there is no spoon.
You know what? As much as I like hanging out with you online, I have a feeling I would love hanging out with you in real life.
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Aw, thank you.
You're welcome. Derek, do you have any more?
No, I'm out of mine.
All right, cool. I've got two more I wanted to run through. Actually, and I've got one more bonus one just because of what Chris said. Occasionally, my wife is a natural blonde, and no offense to you, Laney.
Debatable.
It's dirty blonde. It still counts. But and I'll do this to her, but I will occasionally do this to other people. But if someone is just like they're not getting something, or they've said something that's not, let's say, it's not smart. They didn't really say something not smart. I'll just look at them and go, aw, and kind of stroke their hand and go, pretty bird. Pretty bird.
Do this to me.
Which, of course, is from Dumb and Dumber. But anyway, my last two are Office Space. And anytime something, I'm working on something, technology-wise, and it's just not, it doesn't make sense. I always have to, go back to that PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean?
Nice.
And then of course, you have to occasionally do I'm gonna need you to take care
I
of
need you to
that.
come in
That
on
would be
Sunday.
great.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And then I legitimately have. Originally, you could not buy them. Give you a little quick history here. The red swingline stapler was not an actual thing until that movie, and until Think Geek had them actually commissioned to start producing them, you could not buy a red swingline stapler. Now you can actually find them multiple places. Like I've actually found them in office stores. But I do own a red swingline stapler, and it is on my desk. And every time someone comes and asks about borrowing it, I always say, something to the line, you know what's going to happen if you don't bring that back. What? I'm like, run this building down.
Stephen Root, he was fucking great in that role.
Yes.
Because then you watch him on like news radio, where he's God, I can't remember his name on Jimmy James on news radio on that TV show.
Mhm.
It's total 180 from that character.
Oh yeah. He was a.
Oh man, you know what he's in that he's really good in? Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, he's in Boardwalk Empire?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to watch that show. I've heard it's good.
It's
I've
amazing.
never seen that.
It's amazing.
My last one is from another movie that I think the Draft House does a quote along for as well. So once again, I'm not sure I can quite quantify this as being obscure, but unless you've seen the movie, you have no idea. Whenever I sit there and go, bread makes you fat. And then of course, you have to say, occasionally break out the L word, lesbian. The other L word, lesbian. And one of my favorites, kick her in the balls. Scott Pilgrim. I love Scott Pilgrim. I was listening to a lot of comic book podcasts, and they kept going on and on how they loved this comic. And when the movie came out, I was like, well, it's from the guy who did, the Cornetto trilogy, so I'm gonna go watch it. And I went and I fell in love with that movie, and I never understood why it didn't make more money than it should. And part of it's because of the advertising on it. But to this day, it's gonna be the funny thing. It and Wreck-It Ralph are hands down the best two video game movies ever made.
Mhm.
And
I will say though
it's
that
technically not even a video game, and Wreck-It Ralph is based on a video game, but it's not an actual video game. So it's like, that should say something about video game movies, which could be another topic on the show. But anyway, I love that movie. But those lines in particular, the bread makes you fat, just yeah.
I will say though
So-
that your fascination with Scott Pilgrim borders on stalker insanity. Like
Really?
everybody that there was a season where like everyone you would meet or that would come over to the house or whatever, seen Scott Pilgrim? No. Oh, run up, start putting it on. Here it is. We're gonna watch it right now.
I was trying to spread the love. I'm like, everyone needs to fucking see this movie at least once,
That's okay.
We watched
even
how
if
many
even if
times-
you don't love it. What?
What? Wait. Whoa. Wait.
Huh?
What? Well,
What?
well,
All right.
Hello?
So let's move to our picks and pans. Does anyone in particular want to go first?
I have a pan.
All right, go, Lainey.
To share.
What's your pan for the week?
I have a pan. I came across this on the depths of Tumblr.
Uh-oh.
And it's called Man Can. It is wine in a can. Oh yeah, I have the picture pulled up because I needed to show this to you.
Yeah, I'm looking at this.
It's called Man Can. It's wine in a can, which I don't have a problem with, to be honest, because that makes wine a lot more portable if like that's what you're into. But the issue that I have with it is the way that they're marketing it. First of all, it's called Man Can. Why is it called Man Can? Because you can't drink wine out of a glass? Because it's that much of a threat to your masculinity? Basically, I'm going to file this under masculinity so fragile. But
look at the name. Man Can.
Exactly.
I'm not putting a man
but it gets
can
better
on my lips.
because I'm about to read you the description on the can.
Yeah, go for that.
It's a lot. Eugene just read it. It says, first of all, the tagline is Man Can, shut up and drink.
Whoa.
Oh, God. And then it's thought up by a guy who lives in an old firehouse, walks to work with his dog, has 2 bikes and a trike, and wanted to move beyond stemware. At Man Can, we believe wine is for drinking, not pairing, and our notes are more rock than classical. I can't. I'm done. So it says, crush one at the game, throw one in your back pocket on a camping trip, or pop open one at your favorite dive bar. Just do us a favor and don't talk about the aroma. Are you kidding? Really?
Who throws a can in their back pocket?
But like,
for some reason, this whole thing strikes me as like homoerotic.
Yes.
A little bit. But
Me too.
I was going to throw a Jay and Silent Bob quote and say that I think this dude's going to have a wedding down at the Unitarian Church in the Star Wars theme.
Yeah. But it's like, it's one thing that they like, they had to take something that was, it's wine. Like, I don't understand the thing. It's wine. And they had to mansplain it to everyone.
But they did a horrible job of doing so.
Yes, it's so stupid. Like, I get, like, the idea of, like, wine in a can is actually pretty smart. It's a little bit better for the environment. It's easier to, like, take places, and I get that. But what? Like, oh, don't talk about pairing it. Shut up. Like, oh, God. Like, they have to stop taking things.
The commercial would have lots of explosions and fireworks and,
yes,
yeah, bro.
You expect, like, Michael Bay to, like, direct the commercial. Like, it's just, oh, my God.
Have you seen, that video where the guy is just slapping everybody at the birthday party? He slaps everyone, and then the police officers are walking, and he's just slapping them left and right. That's what I see Lainey doing, walking into the building that produces this place. She doesn't say a word. They're just like, hi, man, can we help?
Oh, my God. Like, it's just... like, as a girl that already has to deal with... Like, whenever I go into the liquor store, I already get a lot of the annoying, like, sexism crap just from walking into the beer section, and having 15 guys try to, quote-unquote, help me. I don't need any help. I'm fine. I can do this. Like, you don't need to put a set of balls on wine. It's fine. Just drink whatever. Oh, my God. I couldn't. Something about it just infuriated me to, like, the depths of my being. So, yeah, that's my pan for the week. Would be Man Can. Wine in a can. Shut up and drink. How do you
handle Adam Carolla's Mangria? Have you had that yet?
No.
That's wine mixed with spirits. It's actually I've had it. It's pretty good.
I believe that, but we need to call it Mangria? Like, what's the point? I don't see the point.
I could maybe see that for him being a throwback to, his
the
start.
Man Show?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then that I get. That's fine.
How do you feel? Like how do you feel about the company Menon?
Shut up.
It makes like deodorant and stuff, By Menon. You're like, by Menon? Fuck this.
They've changed it for women.
No, it just, oh, God. Like you said, go look it up.
Or when someone says, hey, man, you're like, why has it got to be man?
Shut up. But I tried to do research. Like, I went to their website and I was like, surely, like, this isn't what they're sticking with. And, like, on the website, it just looks like buying a can of beer. Like, there's no, like, ridiculous mansplained label on the front. Like, it's just, like, this is the white, this is the red, and it just has, like, a regular label. So why is it being marketed? It's so stupid. I just can't. It's so dumb. They might as well have just, like, sold every 6-pack of it, because I assume it comes in a 6-pack with, like, a set of those truck balls. Like, I can't.
Comes with truck balls. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, Si, what's your pick or pan for the week?
Well, apparently it's this fucking man shit or whatever the hell this is. Man can. No, I don't know. God dang it. This is where I stumble every time.
I know, and I don't understand why. This is the only part of the show that is the exact same every fucking time.
Come on, Si.
Something
Dig
that
deep, Marion.
Okay.
Didn't you buy your thingy this week? Isn't
Yeah,
it?
Yes,
your
there you
thingy.
go.
Talk about your thingy.
Was that this one? That was. I don't know.
I don't know. There was a big thread about it that I didn't.
Just go with it, damn it.
I
Chris
got
has her own
video
line.
games. Sidelight games. Yay! They have a joystick. It's very masculine.
Really?
Very phallic. Yes.
So Cyrus bought a. I can't remember which one is the home version.
AES.
The AES.
It's a Neo Geo. It is the Cadillac of old game consoles. There's not really a higher level that I can go to without just being stupid. So, yeah, it's an arcade system that was consoleized, and you play it, and it's an actual arcade system on your TV. It has joystick.
And it's awesome.
And it's only for men. No.
Oh, God.
Shut up. Si's totally downplaying it, by the way, because this whole thing kind of deserves like a John Hughes 80s movie clap, like, to go along with it.
Yes, like if you have not gone and watched Si's, make sure to go to Video Game Virus on YouTube and watch his videos of opening up and playing and explaining it. You definitely get a little more information about our friend Cyrus. So, yeah, he's definitely downplaying it. It was definitely a highlight, and we're all glad he got it. So,
Or do you have
So
a
here-
charger? Because I think you just found a plug.
There was another console that wasn't as well received. Had some issues, and I did another video about that. That was pretty interesting. I don't know.
yes, it was. So,
Calico Cat.
by the way, I really do want you to start doing more stuff like that. That was awesome. That was great.
I was worried that it was going to come across as just like, okay, so the joke was funny and about 5 seconds in, and your video is still going.
No, it was just long enough. If you had kept going, it might have been. It might have. No, you hit it.
You
got
parks
a good,
and wrecked it.
Yeah, you did a good job with that. So, Chris, what's your pick or pan for the week?
I have a pick. It's food.
Food is awesome.
Food.
Hell yeah.
So
Good pick.
Just food. Nothing in particular, just food. Food's fucking awesome.
Food's amazing.
No, go on.
Super happy about it. No, I tried a new recipe tonight for dinner, and it was awesome. And my kids actually ate it, and I was really worried about it because Quinny is super, super picky. He's a big texture kid. If it looks wrong, if he thinks it's going to be weird tasting, he's not even going to bother with it. So I made spaghetti cacio e pepe tonight, and it was really good, and I was really happy about it. And there's leftovers, and I'm going to eat them tomorrow.
Oh, can I have
Okay.
some?
You have to elaborate on this a little bit.
So- So basically, it's spaghetti with cheese and pepper.
Mm.
Down and down.
How much is left?
Yeah.
Can you
Does
mail
it
it to
keep
me?
well?
But he ate 2 helpings of it. Quinn ate 2 helpings, and so
There you go.
we're happy about it because he's very picky.
What are helpings in Canada? Like, what is this? How do you?
He's 8, so what's a helping for an 8-year-old picky eater?
I don't know. For
I
Canada,
don't know.
You're talking to a bunch of Americans. That's not.
That's
You know what it says on the box, Si? You know that measurement it puts on the box? That's what they actually eat.
Size?
One box
the
is
actual-
one box is one serving. Everyone knows that.
No, that's the American version.
Like what we would taste test during while,
Yes,
while we're
exactly.
preparing it is like what they eat.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Sure.
She's gonna be like, I know I've been to the U.S., but damn, y'all make it sound so much more fun.
Do y'all
I've worked in the U.S. before.
y'all eat like we do? You'll have like the giant straw. You just sit on top of the food and suck it all up at once, right?
No,
Oh.
I don't think we have that.
Oh.
Or are you guys not in the midst of engineering those fat people floaty chairs like in Wall-E too?
Oh
or
Lord.
Is that just us?
We have big sizes, but you guys just kind of take it to the next level.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, because everything has to be.
Because
extreme.
America!
That level
Mark.
doesn't exist. We're up with you until you get past the extra large, and then we don't understand.
Which is
How
funny
can it be-
because
you-
Canada
like-
has great candy.
You're like, how could it be extra large?
Yeah, okay. How could it be more extra than extra large?
There's only one extra.
These Americans, I
Why
swear.
do you want more?
It must be the
Cheese and
imperial.
cream?
It must be the imperial system. That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's it.
freaking idiots.
God.
All right, Derek, what's your pick or pan for the week?
My pick for the week is VR. I actually purchased a Samsung Gear VR.
Ooh.
Really?
Yes, and I've enjoyed the hell out of it. I did have to take it back because with my phone, the Note 5, my phone overheats, so it doesn't last as long as I want to use it for.
Mm.
If you're just watching a movie, it lasts, the full length of the movie. But if you do anything graphic intensive, my phone overheats. So
We're talking about porno, right? That's what you're talking about.
yeah, no. I don't know if you ever get the chance, go into Best Buy and try out. They usually have a Gear VR on display. Try it out.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on, and I have the movie Aliens on my phone, downloaded on my phone. And I went into the Oculus Cinema. They're partners with Oculus Rift, right? I'm sure you've heard about that VR headset.
Yeah.
Okay. And I went into the Oculus Cinema, and I was like, let's see what this is all about. You start off and you're outside in like a plaza, and I look around. I'm like, wow, this looks pretty good. It's still, you can tell it's, computer generated graphics. But then as soon as you actually get inside the cinema, the movie, like the lights, it's dark, and then it lightens up, and you look, and you're actually sitting in the theater in about the sweet spot, the middle seat, probably about halfway up in the theater. You're in the sweet spot, and you look around, and there are chairs around you. There's chairs behind you. I mean, it's like you're there, and then your movie is playing on the screen. So
Wow, that just sounds
That's
cool.
cool.
yeah, and I thought, wow, this is really immersive, and I was like, well, let's see how really immersive it is. And if you look at the ceiling or on the walls, the light that is reflected from the screen is actually going along with the movie. So that just
Wow, that's cool.
It gets to the point of where like I put it on my wife, and she was like reaching for the cup holder of the chair that's not there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and when you watch Netflix in it, which is the coolest part, is you're inside like a house in the mountains. So if you look to your left, there's a giant TV in front of you above a fireplace. If you look to your left, there's windows with mountains, and if you look to your right, there's a wall with some movie posters and some stairs. It's really weird. I've never experienced immersion like that, and even in the games I've played on it. So my pick for the week would be VR.
Cool.
Wow.
You just gave me a reason to actually go into a Best Buy.
Yeah.
The only part of that would weird me out is watching porno in a theater. That would be really weird.
Paul Rubens is behind you.
Well, you're all by yourself, so.
All of a sudden you're, oh!
But it did kind of creep me out though, because I was home by myself, and I put the headset on, and my wife was at work, and it was at night because my wife works overnight, and you just suddenly realize how cut off you are from the world.
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting
Hello?
there in my living room with the headset on with earphones in, so I'm there, but I look around and I'm in an empty theater by myself, but yet I can still feel like that I'm by myself at the house. But there was, you're just missing that whole outside part. It was kind of creepy, but
Like surrogates.
Interesting.
Yeah.
but if next time you're at Best Buy, check it out. And I'm really excited for the PlayStation VR that's coming for the PS4 probably in April. So
How much do you think that's going to be?
I heard $299 for the headset by itself, and then like $400. But the $400 bundle includes the camera, a controller, a game, and the headset.
Okay. if I get one, it's probably going to be the PlayStation one.
Yeah.
Just because I think it may not be the highest quality one, but I think it'll be the most supported. I think it's going to have Sony and a bunch of companies. Like, not to say that Oculus won't have support, but dude, that's for high end people. Like, you can't even do Oculus unless you got like 2 freaking GTX 970s or whatever. I mean,
Yeah. I was very impressed with the Gear VR is $100 if you own a Samsung phone, because it uses your phone as a display in the processor. But I got it to see, how I would do with VR, because some people get motion sickness, but I didn't have any problems like that. But I was really impressed.
Yeah, Eugene, you get sick, dude. You would be like throwing up and stuff.
Dude, I don't have a problem with motion.
Well, how about like first-person shooters and stuff like that? Some people can't play it.
Well, Eugene's kind of squeamish though. He'll pass out. Like, remember when we went to?
That was blood and needles, you bastard. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here with mine, you asshole.
He's on the floor. We had to wait, and they had to wake him up.
Yes.
Marion picking on you?
No, he's telling the truth. But that's a story for another time.
We were worried.
Star Wars. My pick for this week is actually, we talked about it before the show. So I redid my office, and I've actually, in front of the computer where we're recording, is a blank wall now, and I'm decided I was going to do some artwork on it, and instead of just doing movie posters, I decided that I would actually try to find some more artsy looking things. So I went on Etsy, and I found this one particular guy who's doing posters. His shop is called Poster Invasion on Etsy. He does some really cool artwork, and I had it shipped to me from Canada. It was, the printing and stuff on it was really high quality. Had a problem with it though, that unfortunately somewhere along the lines it got bent. And when I contacted the guy, he was like, "Oh, hey, I'll just send you a replacement." He's like, I'm sorry that happened. And I'm just like, wow, if you're gonna be the first person I go to look for additional art if I decide to keep going along in this style. So yeah, if you're looking for some really cool pop culture type art, check out Poster Invasion on Etsy.
Hey, next time you order, tell them it's messed up, and then you'll get an extra one, and I'll.
I'm not gonna do that to some artist, you dick.
They're not an artist unless they're starving. Come on.
Just keep doing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You gotta keep it legit, man.
Oh, I'm not stealing. I'm keeping you legit. Alrighty.
You're welcome.
Well, that's our show. That's our show for the week, ladies and gentlemen. If you would, please make sure to give us a 5-star rating on iTunes and Stitcher. We are really trying to push to get more of those on there, because it really does help us out, helps get the word out there, and we'll bump up our ranking on iTunes. If you would go through and give us a 5-star rating. There's a place to write a review. Don't worry about that. No one reads that except for me. If instead, go in there and put in what are some obscure quotes that you use that everyone doesn't ever get. What's a movie that you're constantly pulling from and people are just like, what? What are you talking about? So go ahead and put those in there in the review section. Also, starting this week, you can now catch our show on YouTube. I'm putting up the kind of edited / condensed version on YouTube. You can find our YouTube channel at Epically Geeky. So you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and on YouTube now. Where can we find you on the internet, Cyrus?
YouTube, look for Cyrus Martin, or look for videogamevirus.com. Or, of course, I'm doing videos for the Epically Geeky website as well.
Yes, he is. He's now started to try this with Cyrus.
Yep.
It right. Lainey, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at Twitter and on Instagram at It's a Lainey Bird, all one word. So, or just find me through Eugene's. That always works too.
Yes, you can always find it from the site as well.
Or if you're in Disney World, just yell Lainey and she'll probably pop up.
And there I am.
She'll just appear. It's creepy. It's always from the side. You're like, oh, no. Chris, where can we find you on the internet?
On Instagram at Lake Life Mama, and my blog is theimpostersyndrome.wordpress.com.
Very cool. Derek, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at DerekGott007. That's Derek with 2 R's. ICK is how it ends.
Oh wait, that's
Yeah. You can also find me on talkingaboutgames.com, and also I'm a co-host of the Post Game Report podcast.
hell yeah.
That's on iTunes and Stitcher and all the rest of those services.
Very cool. Well, definitely go check him out over there. And then, of course, you can find our site at Epically Geeky, pretty much everything, everywhere it is. If you want to follow my personal adventures, you can find me at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. I'm about to start working on some pretty cool projects, so if you're following me on Instagram, you're about to start seeing some interesting things popping up on there. That's our show for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Hope we see you back next week. For everyone on the show, have a good night.